Hey guys, welcome back. We're doing 1 Corinthians 3 today. 1 Corinthians 3. Let's begin. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Christ. I have fed you with milk, and not with meat. For hitherto ye were not able to bear it. Bearing the meat, right? Because they're babes. Or maybe not, right? As we'll kind of learn. Like he has a um, kind of like his own kind of chastisement for them there. Neither yet now are ye able, for ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? Right? He's rebuking them for these reasons, right? For while one saith, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are ye not carnal? Who then is Paul? And who is Apollos? But ministers, right, by whom ye believed, even as the Lord gave to every man. I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. So then, neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but God that giveth the increase. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. Right? Those jewels, gold, silver, jewels, precious stones, right? That work of Christ in us, right? For we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry. Ye are God's building. According to the grace of God, which is given unto me, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Jesus Christ, right? Jesus Christ the rock, right? Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is, right? So to kind of go over more on this, I've talked about it a little bit before. So these are the things that Christ has worked into us, right? The works of God, right? So to speak. Um, these are the things that we are of his workmanship, right? As we read from Ephesians, those works of God. The wood, hay, and stubble, right? They're works of the flesh. An example of this, Isaac, so Abraham, right? He had two sons, one by Hagar, Ishmael, and one by his wife, Sarah, Isaac. Ishmael was a work of the flesh. It's wood, hay, and stubble, right? Isaac is gold, silver, and precious stones, right? It's a work of God, right? It's not a work of this flesh. It's a work of the Spirit of God, right? By promise. I think, and we learned that from Romans or Galatians, and maybe even Hebrews, right? And on the day, the Bema seat, right? This is where we learn about the Bema seat, right? Uh, when we're manifest in glory, all of our works are going to be made manifest, both the works of the flesh and those that were in the spirit, right? And then those works are going to be judged, right? Um, and the fire, I'm assuming it's going to be God's kind of described as like a burning, consuming fire. So it's going to be God burning uh, and trying the things, right? Those things that are of the Spirit will remain. Those things that are of the flesh will be burned off and destroyed, right? And that's something that in a way will be the reward, those gold, silver, and precious stones, right? And it's Christ. It's all of Christ, right? He's our reward. If any man's work abide, which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire, right? And lots of people tend to confuse this, and they try to say, see, you can lose your mansion in heaven kind of thing. You'll just be the garbage man kind of thing, right? No, that's not what Paul is saying, right? Pay attention, guys. Right? Discern by the Spirit. The works that are burned are the wood, hay, and precious stones. They're all, or stubble, sorry. All this stuff, the wood, hay, and stubble, easily gets burned up by fire, right? Gold, silver, and precious stones aren't burnt up by fire. Obviously, there's an extent in the real world where they melt at some point, right? But that's not what the point of this verse is saying, right? These things are consumed practically instantly by fire. They're just burned up, poof, gone, right? These things are not, right? They're tried by the fire, and they pass the trial, so to speak, right? Anyway, the loss here is actually a good thing, right? It's a good thing to suffer these losses of the wood, hay, and stubble. Now, why is that, right? Well, in the kingdom of heaven, there is no flesh, right? The flesh is done away with. The works of the flesh are done away with. That's a good thing, right? So, for example, in our flesh, we still have that sin, right? Of course, this will be solved in glory, right? Once we're glorified, but our works of the flesh keep us from knowing God, right? And we tend to take pride in our works of the flesh, though I guess sometimes you can feel guilty about it or whatever. All of that goes with the wood, hay, and stubble also, right? The guilt, the shame, whatever it might be, all of it is done away with, right? And all that remains is everything of Christ, right? This is why it's called a reward, right? This is why we receive the reward, right? Because it's all the gold, silver, precious stones are of Christ. And this is why we will all suffer a loss, right? The loss of the works of the flesh. But it's not God like punishing us, right? He's not up there beating us with a stick or whatever, right? He's not spanking us because we were naughty, right? No. He's purifying us with his fire, right? It's a purification. And it's going to be a celebration, I think, and I believe, right? We're going to throw a big, giant party. Right? The wedding feast, right? Anyways, let's continue. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. Let no man deceive himself. If any among you seemeth to be wise in this world, right? Seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise, right? To abandon your wisdom of the world, and in other words, right? Because it's vain. It's useless. It won't produce anything. Nothing good. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Therefore let no man glory in men. For all things are yours, whether Paul, or Apollos, or Cephas, or the world, or life, or death, or things present, or things to come. All are yours, right? This is part of our inheritance, right? And ye are Christ's, and Christ is God's.